Sivananda Supatha Foundation, Visakhapatnam, is devoted to take forward Sadhguru Sivananda Murtiji's vision by publishing his speeches and writings and holding seminars, symposiums and conferences on various themes relating to Sanatana Dharma, Bharat culture and its history besides socio-cultural and spiritual topics. In pursuance of the above objectives, we organized an international symposium on reconstructing the cultural history of Bharat at Integral Institute of Advanced Management, Visakhapatnam on February 18th and 19th, inviting reputed scholars from Bharat and abroad to enlighten us on various themes relating to the problems and perspectives in writing Bharat cultural history on truthful and purposeful lines. The erudite presentations of these scholars are presented in this channel. Kindly subscribe and encourage us in our endeavor to promote Sanatana Dharma. Thank you.
Working with Sri Vedabharati, I take liberty from Professor Rao Garu for slightly exceeding the limits of Puranic literature. Let me start with the selected verses of Vedas also, where this historical information is embedded. For this actually I always, for most of the people who say, no sir, we do not know anything about our literature, even Vedas also we heard the names only but we do not know the contents of Vedas. For this we recommend to go through this small, a pocket-sized book, a brief introduction to Vedas and Shastras. Here actually, immediately I come out with the historical information, sir. I don't know how many people know the history part of the Vedas encouraged by any emperor. This started with Bukkaraya, that is mentioned in the shloka actually. First of all, first two lines are Vagishadya Swamanasas Sarvarthanam Upakrame Yamnata Kratagritya Shustam Namami Gajan. This is a Ganesh Prarthana. But immediately followed by Yasya Nishvasitam Vedaha Yo Vedebhyo Khilan Jagat Nirmame Tamaham Vande Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram. Actually, if you go to Sringeri, there we find temple on the banks of Tunga Nadi, where all the astronomical features are recorded in the form of the stone carvings. And there is one Murti is there, that he is called as Vidyatirtha Maheshwara. And then followed by immediately the last two lines, Yat Katakshena Tadrupam Dadhat Bukka Mahipatihi Adishan Madhavacharyam Vedardhasya Prakashane. Writing the commentaries for the Vedas. Normally the name very popular known as Sayanacharya. He was the younger brother of Swami Vidyaranya. This actually has opened the gates of history also, not only the philosophical part or the ritual part of the Vedas, but the historical part also. The reason is, on the dictates of the king or emperor, Bukka Mahipati, Sayanacharya started writing the commentary. The first word is, Nanu Koyam Veda. What is meant by Veda? First of all, if you want to know the meanings of Vedas, you know about the Vedas first of all. If you don't know Veda, then what is the purpose of telling you about the Vedartha? There he goes on writing, for each mantra in the Samhitas, you have to have three things, Rishi, Devata and Chandas. Rishi actually is the Drashta. Who has invented, who has discovered this mantra? That actually is not one person or two persons, thousands and thousands of names are recorded by these Bhashyakaras. So because the Bhashyas are available, we are able to lay our hands and know the authors, the discoverers of the mantras. That is the richest contribution indirectly by the Bukka Mahipati. Here actually you can see the topic given heading is Purana. The Vyutpatti for Purana is Pura Apinavam, that is Puranam. My translation was not correct. Modern though ancient, not old. Modern though old, though ancient. The content is very ancient, but it appears to be modern always. It is a class of Sanskrit sacred writings on the Hindu mythology and folklore of varying date and origin. Here, the Purana, how it, the justification for that word is And what is the definition of Purana? That we find in our Amarakosha. Sargascha pratisargascha vansho manvantara nicha vanshanucharitancheti Puranam panchalakshanam. Very famous shloka actually, very popular shloka. A treatise which deals with the 5 aspects, 5 features it must have. Then only it can be called as Purana. One is Sarga, that is the creation of the universe. Pratisarga, the secondary creation and dissolution of the world. Vansha, the lineage. Manvantara, a cyclic period of time identifying the duration, reign or age of a Manu and the propagator of the mankind. Generator. Then Vanshanucharitam, the accounts of the kings and sages. These 2 words, the sages and the kings, actually, these are the 2 words pivotal for me for this preparation of this paper. That is mostly we will be dealing with the names of the sages or the lineages of the sages or the kings. Broadly it moves around those topics. Here we know there are 18 Puranas. Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana, Varaha Purana, Brahma Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Bhaivashyat Purana, Shiva Purana, Skanda Purana, Matsya Purana, Narada Purana, Garuda Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana. For remembering all these things, they have formulated a small shloka. Madvayam bhadvayam cheva bratrayam vachatushtayam anapalinga koskani purani prasak prasak. The first letters are most of the Puranas. And finally, the A means, second line, A means Agni, Na means Narada, Pa means Padma, Linga Purana, Korma Purana, like that. In a short form, all the names of the 8 Puranas covered. And it seems these 18 Puranas, they contain about 8 lakh verses, sir. 8 lakshana shlokalu. Ramayana normally, everybody says it is 24,000 shlokas. Vyasa Bharata is about 1 lakh shlokas. But all these Puranas is 8 times more than this. It is almost very, very difficult and very selected number of people only must have read all these 18 Puranas in total originally. Based on that, we are supposed to prepare a note with respect to the history and then make a presentation. Yes, sir. Sir, I have not done that much justification. 1 or 2 Puranas I have gone through. 1 or 2 lakhs of shlokas I have referred to. My syllabus is pending. For next, I think, next seminar I may be preparing myself. And where here, you can see the names of Rishis. Drashtas actually. Of Vedic mantras in our Vedic Samhitas we find, suppose in Rigveda, Agnimele Purahitam Yajnasya Devamurtiyam. Who is the Drashta? Madhuchanda Rishi. Suppose Agnam Dotaram Hota, Agnagum Hota, Ragum, and like that the second mantra is there. There is Mathatithi is the Rishi. And Hiranya Stopa is the Rishi for the Indrasyanu. Similarly, Samar Vijun, like the some other author is there. Author is not author, actually is a discoverer of the mantra. Drashtas are there. Within our, this is with respect, these mantras are related to the Rigveda. The last 2 lines are related to our Krishna Yajurveda. Suppose we say about the Namakam. Within that first word, Namaste Rudra Manyava Uto Yashave Namaha, that is the first mantra we hear. Who is the discoverer? Yes, Kashyapa is the Rishi mentioned. So, Nama Avyadhini Bhyo Vivijjanti Bhyascha Ho Namaha. Who is the Drashta? He said to be Durvasa. So, the names of the certain Drashtas we find both in Vedas as well as in our Puranas also. So, we may link up, but very carefully. Traditionalists may not accept it. With all these limitations behind, we can formulate some small a matrix, bringing out the history part of the Rishis of the Vedas. Similarly, in our Aranyaka also, there is one more way of bringing out the historical aspects of the Rishis. The name of the Rishi we find in the mantra itself. Previous one, is only drashta. The names have come out by a tradition. But here it's not by tradition, but a part of the text of the mantra itself. That we can see. Panchakarno Vasyayanaha Saptakarnascha Prakshihi Etavai Sahasrasuri Etaya Iti Vaishampayanaha Sahovajavya Parashirya. These two mantras we find in Aruna Patha for Aranyaka. It's a part of the text of the mantra, but still we find the names we say Vatsyayana is son of Vatsyayana. Second one, Palakshihi is the son of Palaksha Maharshi. Then similarly, Vaishbayana is a popular name. Similarly, Parashirya Vyasaha. Like that, these are some of the names we find as part of the mantras, as the text of the mantras. Next one we can see. In our Upanishads also again we find the names of the rishis as part of the text of the mantras. Satyamiti Satyavacha Rathi Taraha. In our Shikshavali we find Tapa iti tapo nitya paurusishti swadhyaya pravachane eveti nako maudgalyaha. Actually here you can see Rathi Tara is a rishi. He said Satyam is the most important one that you have to Acharana Boraka, you have to perform it. Similarly, Paurusishti said, no, Tapa is most important for regular implementation. Whereas Maudgalya, he is the son of Maudgala. He mentions Swadhyaya Pravachana. You learn the Vedas and again propagate the Vedas. These are the maiden duties of anybody. Like that, actually, the names of the rishis are recorded as part of the text of the mantras. Similarly, one more mantra, Bhrugurvai Varunihi. Varuni, Bhrugu is a name of a disciple whose father is Varuna. That is mentioned. Varunam Petaramupasasara. This boy Varuna, this boy Bhrugu approached his father Varuna. That is immediately, that is the text, second line of that mantra, Bhrugu. Similarly, in Mahanarayana Upanishad, we find one more statement. Prajapatyo Haurineswaparneya Prajapatim Petaramupasasara. Here, Prajapati is a father and his son has approached him. Please tell me about the greatest value system of India. Value system. What are the different aspects which you have to take care of? Those things he goes on giving a long list. But here also we find the names of the rishis found as part of the text of the mantras. And we come to, this is as part of the Vedas are concerned. We have covered Samhitas very briefly, Aranyakas, Upanishads also. Now come to Ramayana, about the kings. In Balakanda actually the two Vamshas are described extensively. Suppose you take up in Surya Vamsha, when Dasharatha reaches Mithila for the marriage of Sri Rama with Sita, then Vasishtha on behalf of Dasharatha, he narrates the total lineage of Surya Vamsha. Starts from Surya, Brahma, Marichi and Kashyapa, then Surya, Manu, Yakshvaku. You can see the Ayodhya city today, it was not constructed by Surya nor by Manu, it was constructed by Yakshvaku. From Yakshvaku onwards, this Ayodhya is taken as the capital for the Surya Vamsha Maharajas. And here we find the references to about 36 people, great kings and emperors. Manu, Yakshvaku, then Kukshi, Vikukshi, Bhanu, then Anaranya, Purusu, Tishanku, like this several long list, 715 Bharata. Then we find Sagara, Asamanjasa, Anshumanta, Dilepa. Normally in Raghuvansha it is described as Raghu is the son of Dilepa. No. In Valmiki Ramayana it is given differently. Dilepa, then Bhagiratha, Kakusa, Raghu. These are generations we can take. Then like this actually goes. And ultimately, father of Dasharatha is, normally we find in Raghuvansha as Aja Maharaja. But in Valmiki Ramayana it is given as Nabhaga. Nabhaga is the father of Dasharatha. Nabhaga, Dasharatha and ultimately Sri Rama. So if you count like this, 36th generation the Surya Vamsha. It is exactly nothing but the part of history itself. The details of these Maharajas, some of them they are found in different texts. Not at that point in the Valmiki Ramayana itself. But we can note down these names. We can estimate the time periods. if everything agrees well. Similarly, if you take up Janaka, once Vasishtha completes the narration of the list of kings of the Surya Vansha, then immediately Janaka starts telling about his Vansha. It starts with Nimi, Mithi, Janaka, Udavasu like this, and then we find 24 generations. The last one is Janaka. He got a daughter. Original daughter is Urmila. Sita is there. But there are 4 boys are there, 2 girls are there. How to manage? Then immediately he advised. Vishwamitra advised her. Janaka, you have one more brother. His name is Kushadhwaja. It seems he has 2 daughters. You please ask him to come here and bring his daughters also. All the 4 daughters, all the 4 sons will marry. So like that actually here we can find the 23 level. Janaka handling Sita and Urmila and Kushadhwaja handling Mandavya and Susakit. This is given in Valmiki Ramayana, Balakanda, 71st Sarga. These are with respect to Ramayana. And actually there is a clear mention of the list of Maharshis available in Sri Rama's Pattabhisheka Mahotsav Samaya. Vasishtho Vamadevascha Jabali Rasakashyapaha Katyayanasu Yajnascha Gautamo Vijayastatha Abhishinchannaram Vyaghram Prasannena Sugandhina Salilena Sahasraksham Vasavo Vasavam Yatha. Actually, these are the great rishis available at that time. They are Vasishtha, Vamadeva, Jabali, Kashyapa, Katyayana, Suyajna, Gautama, Vijaya. These are the 8 mantris. And this mention is found in the 128th Sarga of the Yuddhakanda. And the shlokas between 60 and 61, these names are found. This is historical information only, nothing short of it. Similarly, we find in Bharata again, Mahabharata. This picture actually is from the Gorakhpur Gita Press Mahabharata book, actually, Udyoga Parva. Virata Parva is over. Then the Sandhi, Rayabara, these things started. First of all, Drupada's priest was sent as a messenger. Dhritarashtra said, no, we will think of and then we will send another message. Second one is Sanjay Rayabara. Then again Pandavas decided, no, that's not acceptable, Sanjaya's message. So we will have again our own message passed on to Dhritarashtra and all these kings and his batch. On their behalf, Pandavas' behalf, Sri Krishna started. Once he started, a group of sages came to him on the way. Group of sages, not ordinary people. That actually the next shloka. Adhasyara sarpamali maharshis sahidaya valaha arva vasussujanuscha maitreya snakoi bali bako dalbhyas thola shiraha krishnadvaipayanastha ayo dhaumyo dhaumyascha ani mandavya kaushikau. These are the names of the rishis. Adhasyaraha, Sarpamali, Devalaha, Arvavasu, Sujano, Maitreya, Shunakaha, Bali, Bakaha, Dalbhyaha, Stolashiraha, Krishnadvaipayanaha. They wanted to greet Lord Krishna. We wish and we pray that your efforts may succeed. And we bless. And also one more thing is, yes, we will again join you. Actually, it seems Lord Sri Krishna has taken 5 days to reach Hastinapura. His journey from Upapalaya Manu Pradesh, that was Virat Pranta to Delhi actually, took 5 days. So in between first day, second day it has happened. They said once you are, and it seems the Krishna Rayavaram happened on Kartika Paurnami day. That is clearly mentioned. Kartika Paurnami day, the Rayavaram was held. The message of Pandavas was made heard by these Duryodhana and other people on Kartika Paurnami day. That was mentioned very clearly. And these are all the Maharshis who assembled in the court of Dhritarashtra on that day. So actually these names when we find in our Vedic texts, maybe Samhitas or Puranas or the Brahmanas, Aranyakas or Upanishads, we may link up. We may be permitted to link up with the time period actually. Because Mahabharata time is well defined with respect to astronomical parameters. Similarly, these are English terminology for the same thing. And actually you come to Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavata Purana has plenty of information. Certain things are unimaginable also. That type of statements are found in our Bhagavatam Purana. Particularly in the fourth skandha, Chaturtha skandha, the Swayambhu Manu, it seems he has married to Shatarupa. He has got 3 daughters and 2 sons. The first daughter, D1 means the first daughter. Like that, just I codified it. Akuti, she was given to Ruchi Prajapati. Second daughter is Devahuti. She was given to Kartama Prajapati. And the third daughter is Prasuti. I think in those days also the Anchaprasa in the names of the girls was maintained by him. Akuti, Devahuti and Prasuti like this. And she was given to Daksha Prajapati. And the family history of each of them, about 10 generations yet they have been described in our Bhagavata Purana. 10 generations, I could not record all those things. Similarly, the Daksha Prajapati Santanam, everybody knows the story between Daksha and Shiva also. We can see, let me go back. The last lines you can see, daughter 1, that is Akuti. Her progeny is Yajna and Dakshina. They got 12 sons. Next one is second daughter. Her name is Kala. She was given to Marich Maharshi. They got 9 daughters. And Kashyapa was given to one of them. And Kashyapa's son is, Kashyapa's wife is Aditi. From her Aditya. From Aditya and rest of the things. Similarly, third daughter, 16 daughters they got. 16 daughters. 16th daughter actually has produced Nara and Narayana Maharshis. Nara Narayanas are the children of the 16th daughter of third daughter of the earlier generation, you can see. Because these are very popular names you have picked up. Similarly, in the 7th skandha of Bhagavata Purana, Vaivasvata Manu is described. Why is this thing? Because, as we told, Purana means Panchalakshanam. Usually have Manvantaras also, they have described all these things. Swayambhu Manvantara is first one, 7th one is Vaivasvata. Because presently, Vaivasvata Manvantara, Kaliyuga, Prathamapada, like that we will be going on narrating our time and other things. So in this Vaivasvata Manu, how many varieties again, how many generations? One important person mentioned is Sujumna. Because of the Shapa, he was becoming female for 1 month and male for another month. He's changing his sex. And then from him, when he was in the female form, he had a union with Buddha. There from Pururava Chakravarti has born. And again the rest of the events, they follow it. These are the several generations preceding Pandavas, Pururava. Now actually a very important thing is Dvadasha Skandha, sir. Dvadasha Skandha, very, very important. Unimaginable also, I use the word unimaginable. The beginning actually we can find, the first shloka you see what Parikshit asks Shuka Maharshi. Swadhamanu gate Krishne yaduvanshi vibhushane kasya mansho bhavat pruthyam yatad achakshume mane. Maharshi, up to 11th skandha of Bhagavata Purana, we have described the Rajavanshas of all these things which existed earlier or which are existing and which are continuing till today. I would like to know what will be the future, who will be the future kings of this land. Then starts this Dvadasha Skandha. People will immediately object. History is only about the past, never about the future, they say. But this contains a lot of information about the future kings on the date of Parikshit asking Shuka Maharshi, approximately 5,200 years back. Approximately. The words used here, you can find out, very interesting. A word is given, actually a lot of, I will give you several generations. And Shuka Maharshi has described how many years each Rajavansha will be ruling this India. In Bhavishyat, with respect to that date, he has mentioned. But within the text actually you can see important words. The first line, actually the 5th line, he mentioned, the third line you can see, Ekakala ime bhupaha, sapta andhraha, sapta kosalaha, 7 andhras will be ruling this country. It is a future statement. Personally, I feel whether Neelam Sanjeev Reddy is covered on that day, other P.V. Narasimha also is covered there. Sapta andhraha, 7 andhras will be ruling this country. Will be ruling, as on that day he was mentioning. But names he has not given in that context. But at least definitely it is coinciding with our interpretation. The next line you can see, Vidura patayo bhavya nishasta taryevahi. Vidura patayaha. Actually getting the meaning of that, I wanted to find out our Potana Bhagavata, what it was mentioned for this, because it is a shloka to shloka translation given by Potana Garu, Potana Bhagavatamlo. What he has written for this shloka is Vaidhurya Patalu and Rasarandayana. Vaidhurya Patalu. Vidura and Padan, Vaidhurya Padam Koda Artham Undi. Lakapoli. Kanta Padanga. Nenamantanante, Ivela, Avela, Kavita Anuvadan Chesed 20 Valaki, I am going to knowledge, I am experience, even in Malanj Anuvadan Divite, translation of Vastai. అప్పటికి ఫారిన్ రూల్ లేదు ఇండియాకి. పోతన గారు 600 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం నాటికి మనం ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చేసాం గత లాస్ట్ 2 centuries బ్రిటిష్ వాళ్ళది. సో విదూర పతయ మీన్స్ విశేష దూరే పతయ సంతీతి విదూర పతయ అంటే ద రూలర్స్ విల్ బి స్టేయింగ్ వెరీ ఫార్ ఆఫ్ డిస్టెన్స్. విశేష దూరం, చాలా దూరం ఉంటారు, లాంగ్ డిస్టెన్స్, అండ్ దే విల్ బి రూలింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ పాయింట్. నార్మల్లీ ది ట్రెడిషన్ ఆఫ్ ది థింగ్స్ దట్ హ్యాపెండ్ ఇన్ దిస్ ల్యాండ్ ఈజ్ the king of a land always stays in that land itself. Even Babar, even if you take foreigners who are settled here, Akbar, everybody, they lived in this country. But uniquely, only English people are the only people who stayed away from this land, but they ruled this. So this word, Vidura Patayaha, what exactly the Shloka Yogi has used that word is perfectly correct when we take into account the British rule also. That is my interpretation, sir. If I am wrong, I may be corrected subsequently. Similarly, one more thing, unimaginable is, he mentioned about this Kashmir problem also. Can you imagine? The Kashmir problem started just only 1947-48 period only. After getting the independence of Pakistan, which was created very recently at that time, he immediately started attacking it. It occupied it. The rest of the history, we know it. So till 1947 or 48, nobody knows that Kashmir will become a major problem. But he was mentioning here, you can see, Sindhostatam, Chandrabhagam, Kauntim, Kashmir Mandalam, Bhokshyanti, Shudraha, Vracharyaha, Mlecha, Ashrama, Abrahmavarchasaha. That is, who do not follow this Sanatana Dharma, who are the Mlechas, they will be ruling this land. This is exactly what we have seen. Perfectly. That is, here we can say the Rishivakyam has to be accepted in toto. Because this is a perfect example. Rishivakyam has to be taken as part of the history, sir. No, so far nobody must have thought of accepting it. But here there are the strong proofs are there. Nobody can deny them. If this is accepted, then please accept our Vedic information and Vedic history also. Then actually you can Sindhostatam, Indus River area, that has totally gone into Pakistan. That also is mentioned. Chandrabhaga is the chain of what we call it today, chain of Satluj, all these things is in Punjab. That also has gone into Pakistan. So Sindhostatam, Chandrabhagam, Kauntim, Kashmir Mandalam, 4 areas which have now really totally gone into the western area of Pakistan. That was clearly mentioned in future with respect to the time of Parikshit. Which happened, we have witnessed in the history of that part. Potana Garu has not experienced it, so he could not translate. But he mentioned the rest of things. Vidura Pataya, now I say, is a foreign rule. So I say, one more area. Some kingdoms, suppose the Sharsha and all these people, they have not penetrated up to South India. Only the north of India, only they ruled. That also is mentioned. In the central, Anugangam, Aprayagam, Guptam, Bhokshanti Medinim. That is between stopping Anugangam, that is following the trajectory of river Ganga up to Prayaga. Yes, that was the land ruled by Sharsha actually. Like that, several information statements are there. in our Puranas. This is only one small sample, sir. Small sample. Similarly, in the Markandeya Purana also, we find several examples. Now, with this just information about our Puranas, the greatness of our Puranas with respect to historical aspects, now we can see, yes, what are the actually generations starting from, after immediately Parikshit, Brihadratha, his son is Puranjaya, and Puranjaya was killed by his own minister Shunaka, so he started his own Vamsha, Rajavamsha. Then his son is Prajyota, then Nandivardhana, etc. 5 generations. Shukayogi was telling these people, that generation, Nandivardhana group, they will be ruling for 138 years. That was mentioned very clearly in our Purana. 138. Number of years also is mentioned. Then again, Sisunaga dynasty will run here. They will be running this country for 360 years. The names of the kings also he has mentioned. Kakavarma, Kshemavarma, Kshatrajna, like this actually, the names of the future kings with respect to that time. That also was mentioned. Similarly, Vidhisara, Ajatashatru, Darbhaka, Ajaya, Nandivardhana, Mahanandivardhana, Mahapadmanandi. These things, it seems the 8 kings, they will be ruling for 100 years. That was mentioned in our Bhagavad Purana. We have to verify it. Then Karmaka dynasty, 9 kings, also called as Navanandas. A Brahmin will end the above dynasty. That much only is given. Who can be that Brahman? Chanakya. History, subsequent history has proved that Chanakya has destroyed that Nandavamsha. That is clearly mentioned here. That is part of our, and there is no, it is not Prakshipta Shloka. Prakshipta means some versions containing one thing, some versions not containing that. It's not. All the versions of the Talapatras of Bhagavata, all the versions are containing this statement. Undisputed statement. Similarly, next comes Maurya dynasty has mentioned. 10 kings, they will be ruling for 137 years. Then Varisara, Bindusara, Vari means nothing but water. Bindu also is related to water. So normally we are told about Bindusara. But whereas it was mentioned as Varisara. And then Ashoka, Brihadratha, he is killed by commander. Sunga Pushyamitra, his dynasty for 10 Sungas, 112 years. Vasudeva dynasty, 350 years. Vrushala dynasty, 456 years. They are all mentioned in our Bhagavad Purana, 12వ స్కందం. వీలుంటే మీరు తిరుగు భాగవతాన్ని చదవండి, ఇవన్నీ మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నాయమ్మా. తర్వాత యవనాస్, again now comes the Muslim rule. Yavanas, 8, Barbaras, 14 generations. Then Gurundas, 13, Maunas. These people will be running for 1930 years. Then we have to revive our timetable actually, sir. Our Maurya dynasty started only about 2,200 years or 300 years, you say, but this doesn't fit it. So it is covering up to 5,000 years, because from that day onwards he is covering. Normally the only literature we are having is Vishwanath Satyarana Gari Purana Veri Granthamala. There he has mentioned all the list of kings who will be ruling this country after the Pandavas rule. We may have to correlate. Some complexities are there, but they may have to resolve with a serious observation. Then Yavanas, they will be ruling for 106 years. Bhotanandas, children and rulers of Bahlika, Sindhu region, Kashmir, Mlechas, Vidurapatis, as I mentioned, remote control rulers to rule part of this land. Then Kaushika Savot, this is one kind, sir. Then, up to this, with respect to the sages, names of the sages, he has found in our Puranas. We got one more source of information about our rishis, sir. When we perform Sanjavandana, at the end, Chatussagar Parintam, Go Brahmane, Jashupam Bhavatu, Kaushika Triyarshe, Pravaranita Kaushika, Gota, like that, we will be mentioning about Rishi Pravaras. There is actually a small booklet which I could lay my hands, that has given the surnames and the Gotras also. There is a traditional information, nobody can deny it. Now we suppose who are the great rishis of that Pravara. Normally we say Kaushika Gotra. No, it is not correct. Kaushika Sagotra. Similarly, Vaishwamitra, Agamarsana, Kaushika. Similarly, Kaundinya Gotra is there. Vasishta, Maitra, or Kaundinya. Haridas Gotra, very popular, very famous. It is Angirasa, Ambarisha, Yavanasha, like this. So we got a lot of information. Thus a lot of historical information is available in our Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas and traditions also, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to make a small presentation on this literature.
Thank you very much, Avadhanulu garu. We were thinking that Vedas have the Rishi Pravaras, an independent lineage, and then you can find independent lineage from Puranas and Itihasas. But he has taken Itihasas, Puranas, and Vedas together. And this is a wonderful idea that we should take these three genres of literature to build up the history of our remote past. Thank you, Avadhanulu garu. And I think with your help, we can proceed further on this line.